Hello and welcome to this week's reading assembly. We will start off as normal with our Spelling Shed winners for this week. There's been quite a lot of activity this week on Spelling Shed, which is great to see. We need to make sure we keep it up, guys. Keep doing our assignments for our teachers on Spelling Shed and keep working hard to learn those spellings so that we get better marks on our spelling tests every week. So in bronze position this week, we have Toby for 3NW. What's really pleasing to see is Toby's name is mentioned in this assembly every single week. So well done, Toby, for working so hard at home. It's incredible. In silver position, we have got Dylan from 3NW, who has also been working super hard at home. I think every week, Dylan and Toby, you two are swapping positions. Miss Whitehead will be over the moon with this. Fantastic, guys. Keep it up. But our gold award winner this week is Shiraz in 5JA. Well done, Shiraz. It's great to see your name up there this week. Keep up the golden work. Now, on to our class awards. Now, it's been a hotly fought competition again this week, and our bronze class award goes to 6SP. Well done, everybody. Lots more members of 6SP going on this week as well. Great to see, guys. Keep it up. Our silver award goes to 5JA. Well done. Mr. Armour will be really pleased with that. But our gold award this week goes again to 3NW. Well done, Year 3. It's great to call into your classroom every single week and drop your chocolates or biscuits at the door. And it's really pleasing to be able to hand out so many certificates to Year 3, so well done, keep it up. Okay. Now, our reading award this week is a little bit different because we had not one, but two classes that scored 100% readers last Friday. And the two classes are 5JA and 6SP. So well done, a Year 5 and a Year 6 class who have both got 100% readers. And last week, Miss Asghari's class also got 100% readers. Now, there's only one class left in Upper Key Stage 2 now that haven't achieved 100% readers. And I wonder which class that could be. Okay, 6HR, you have been set a challenge. Next week, I would like 100% readers, or even tomorrow, I would like 100% readers. It would be fabulous. I feel a little bit left out that we are the only class in Upper Key Stage 2 that have not got 100% readers. Okay, so everybody needs to get reading because tomorrow we will be counting how many times you have read again. So just a reminder, we need to read at least 3 times a week or more for our class percentage to go up. Okay. So, well done 5JA, well done 6SP. It's going to cost me a fortune in treats, is this? Keep it up. Now, on to one of our new features, okay? Staff Reader of the Week. Now, since last week, I have been inundated with staff pictures, and I cannot wait to share them all with you. But this week, I thought it would be really appropriate to introduce you to one of our new members of staff. Because at the minute, we're not all seeing each other in assemblies, so you might have seen her around school, but you might not have had a chance to speak to her or ask who she is. So I would like to introduce you to Miss Gavins. Now, Miss Gavins works in 6HR, and Miss Gavins is this week's Staff Reader of the Week. And the book she is reading is called The Hobbit, and The Hobbit is a Year 6 star reader. So it's absolutely brilliant to see Miss Gavins reading one of our star readers at home and really enjoying it. Now, Miss Gavins said that this is a book that she enjoyed reading when she was in primary school, and it's one of those books that you can just pick up time and time again, and it doesn't matter how many times you've read it, you can just enjoy it again and again and again. So well done, and thank you, Miss Gavins, for being our Staff Reader of the Week. And Miss Gavins is working in 6HR. Right, so now to announce the winner of last week's reading vote. So we were given Amazing Grace, and we were given Harry the Poisonous Centipede to choose from. Okay, so let's have a look at our votes. So, Amazing Grace got 28 votes, but Harry the Poisonous Centipede got a massive 189 votes. Absolutely incredible. So let's go over to our Year 3 team to hear Harry and the Poisonous Centipede.
Belinda tells a scary story. Harry, as I told you, lived in a hot country. But he didn't know that for a long time because he didn't live on the surface of the earth where the sun shone a lot. He lived in a mass of dark, cool tunnels under the ground. He slept all through the day, but at night he would wake up and run along these lovely earthy tunnels, looking for things to eat. What things? Well, if you must know, worms, slugs, beetles, spiders. All kinds of insects and creepy crawlies that were smaller than him. He would chase after them, bite them, and when the poison from his poison claws had paralysed them, crunch them up. Well, crunch if they were crunchy like beetles, or munch if they were munchy like worms. Belinda, being much more than twice her size, could tackle big things like toads, small snakes, young mice, and lizards. But then she could go up to the surface to hunt, only for a short time.
Centipedes mustn't get too dry or they can't breathe, and it's much easier to keep damp underground. If she heard something thumping about on the surface that sounded good to eat, she'd nip along an upgoing tunnel, scurry to the thumping thing, whatever it was. And if it wasn't too big, she would bite it with her poisonous pincers and drag it back down the tunnel to share it with Harry. Belinda was a very good mother. When Harry and her other babies first came out of their eggs, she'd make something like a little basket to keep them in, and tended them carefully until they were old enough to fend for themselves. All her other many children had gone off and left her, as young centipedes usually do. But Harry stayed. He loved her and she loved him, calling him love names like best in my nest and pride of my basket. She was always scared that something might happen to him, so she carefully warned him of any dangers. Of course, he didn't take much notice. He was a big, strong, armoured centi. That's a child centipede, with 2 fine poisonous claws, who could run faster than anything he'd ever met. What could hurt him? Lots of things, Belinda said firmly. There are many bigger things than you, Hazel. When you're grown up and go up to the big, open, not top world, and you must not do so before, you'll find you're not the biggest thing around by any means, or even the fastest. And she told him about the flying things that swooped down and grabbed you, and great legless belly crawlers, the tunnels the centipedes lived in, and enormous hairy things with huge sharp teeth and hot breath that could run even faster than the fastest centipede. But the most awful things of all, Belinda told him, the biggest and the most terrifyingly dangerous, were humans. Of course, she pronounced it H-mans. I've nearly been killed by a human, his mother told him in a hushed tone. Twice. Mama! Oh, yes. Once when I couldn't find food in the tunnels, I had to go up in the bright time. All that bright line muddled me, and I got too far from the tunnel entrance. I was running back to it when a black shadow fell on me. Well, you don't know about shadows because you've never been out when big yellow ball is shining. But it's a dark thing that falls on you. And when you feel the shadow, you have to run like mad. Why? Is it heavy? No, it doesn't weigh anything itself. But behind it there's always something. And this something, this time, was a huge, heavy thing that came crashing down. It just missed me. I ran out in time. And although I ran as fast as I could run, this huge, heavy thing kept up with me and came crashing down again and again. Harry shuddered. What happened, Mama? I dodged. I zigzagged.
I ran as never before. Suddenly I saw a tree with some leaves lying under it, and I raced for it and dived under the nearest leaf. But I didn't stop there, and just as well. As I ran under the leaves hunting for a hole, the crashing thing came down just in front of me. I had to turn and run back into the open. Then I ran in every direction. Thank goodness I found a hole and rushed down it just as the thing came smashing down again. Oh, Hickstel, you can't think how you nearly lost your mamma that time. And that was a homing that was chasing you. How do you know? Because when I got my breath back and got nice and damp again, as well as nearly getting squashed, I'd nearly dried out. I peeped out of the hole and saw it walking away. I realised then that the crashing thing was its foot. It only had 2, but they were enormous, Hickstel. How big, Mamma? As long as me, and then as long as me again, and that's just its foot. She stood in front of him, waving her feelers in a very solemn way. And now that you are a big senty, I have something very important and dangerous to show you. A massive thank you to Miss Whitehead and Mrs Gibson for contributing to our reading assembly this week. Thank you very, very much. We are now going to move on to next week's Read It Star reading vote. Okay, so it's the turn of year 4 next week. So we have got The House That Sailed Away or A Bear Called Paddington to choose from. And you will notice, Mr Taylor, that no matter which book we choose, there is no opportunities for you to wear a dress this time. I'm sure you'll be absolutely devastated. But don't worry, guys. When we get back onto the assemblies in real life, I'm sure Mr Taylor will be only too happy to put on his dress again. So, The House That Sailed Away. Suddenly the house started to shudder and rock, and then just floated off down the street and off to sea. Before long, the family find themselves on the wackiest adventure ever. Hungry cannibals, bloodthirsty pirates, a kidnapping and buried treasure are just some of the hair-raisers in store. Okay, or A Bear Called Paddington, which is the very first book in which the Browns meet Paddington on a railway station and discover that ordinary things like having a bath or travelling on the underground can soon become quite extraordinary if a small bear is involved. And I think Paddington used to like marmalade sandwiches. So it is over to you. Please vote, make sure it's your vote, and the adults will put it on the system, and then next week we will see which one has won. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Remember, keep reading and keep logging into Spelling Shed. Have a good week.